Okay, I think we're back. We're so back, chat. We're so back. The three people that are gonna make the jump. Oh god. I'm not gonna touch Bloodborne. Yeah, third time's the charm. That's what I'm talking about. Third time's the charm. I ain't touching shit. So what happens, happens. I'm not touching anything. I'm just hitting continue. I got the emulator up. Fuck everything else. I'm just gonna play the game. Probably should have done that the whole time, but such is life, you know? Such is life. And then if it crashes again, I'll just stop streaming. Which is fine. Like, whatever. We tried, you know? We tried. Did I kill this guy? I didn't kill this guy. Okay, I'll allow it to crash once if it's on hitting an enemy, because then I can just log into the other character. But... Oh, that's great. That's just great. That's great. We love it. We love it. Ah. So annoying. So annoying. Do I have any clue? No, not really. This has been something that's been lingering for months and months and months and months and months and months, where you log on to someone else and then it stops crashing when you hit enemies. Do I know why? Oh, now it just crashes on both. Well, okay. Well, there we go. That's all she wrote. Like, alright. Fuck that. I ain't streaming that. I mean, I'll try launching some of the other shit. No, it's not a resolution thing. I've been able to play it perfectly fine at 1080p. Like, also, I'm streaming this on the same computer that I'm emulating it, which is a fucking terrible idea. It just is. Yeah, BB Fork doesn't even fucking work. Man, it sucks. It's so annoying. Well, let's launch this one. Fuck, I don't know. This is just another build. Why the fuck not? We appreciate the offer or effort. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I appreciate you guys even still watching at all. Like, this is just. Do you have fast readbacks on? Also, yeah, let me know what that is. What is fast readbacks? Because that's not in the patch menu, so presumably that's in the config.toml file, right? Yeah, let me know about fast readbacks. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, it's a setting in the emulator. You mean in the emulate, like launching the emulator? I don't remember seeing that, but okay. Okay. In the experimental tab. Where the fuck is the experimental tab? Don't tell me this is some... I have to enable something probably in like the fucking file, right? I figured it'd be in like the advanced bullshit, right? I thought it'd be one of these. I don't see anything about readbacks, but could be wrong. Also, they took away my update option. That's some bullshit. They had an app update option here literally 2 seconds ago, yesterday, and then now there's no update option. Like, what the fuck is that? What are we doing? Like, honest to God, what are we doing? Oh, actually meaning to go chat PS4 GitHub. We go to actions. Which CPU does your PC use? I use a 5700X Ryzen. Okay, it might only be in the Diego version. Okay, well, I'll download the... Here's the problem, though. I can't even get BB Fork to fucking launch. It doesn't even do anything. Can I just use the main version? Maybe it's that I don't have the sys modules anymore. Is that it? Kind of forgot about that. I remember them telling me at some point that that wasn't necessary, that you had to actually load in all the fucking modules from like earlier. As far as I remember, like those were the sys modules I had at some point. But I remember them going, oh, you don't really need that. Like, it can just run it without it. But let me know if I'm wrong on that. I'd love to know that I'm wrong on that. But I think it's weird I can't even get the BB4 to launch. Like, do I just use the old main version? I mean, this isn't an old version. This is very recent, but... I mean, I'd love to get this working, but... I hadn't downloaded this one yet. Sick. Sick. I just don't know why it won't launch at all. Is there a specific setting I'm supposed to have? Let me open up the user thingamajiggy in roaming, shad PS4, and then there's a config.toml file. I'm assuming, well, because I'm not using the resolution patches anymore, I'm going to turn off the dev kit thing, because that was used for the resolution patches above 1080p. At least that's what it says. It needs that. So I'll turn that off. I don't know. Maybe that's what that fucking thing was having problems with. Is there a way I can send you my version? Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you, which I appreciate you being open to do that. I guess if you DM me on like Twitter with like a Google Drive link, I can just download that, and that'd be awesome. Yeah, just to check, like if that fucking works, like that'd be awesome. Yeah, if you DM me on Twitter, I guess that's, or in the chat, can you post a Google Drive link? I don't know. I mean, maybe, is that too public? I don't fucking know. I mean, it's just the build of the emulator, so like that's legal. Let's see. Let's go back to that. Oh, there's BB Fork. Yeah, that's crazy. BB Fork just doesn't work. It just doesn't launch. Huh. I used to be able to use the Diego builds. Even recently. Even recently, I was able to launch it. That's crazy. Oh, do you have an older version of the Diego? I don't think so. Not that I know of. But I mean, yeah, if you can just Google Drive it, but if not, not a huge deal. Well, the other thing, just, is this the one? This is the one. Okay. Well, now that I turn the dev kit off, and I think I'll turn off the performance increase, turn off the HT. I'm not going to do anything. Oh, and this doesn't even have the heap sizes anymore. You know what's weird is that my XML file has less options now. I'll Google Drive it. Hello. I don't know why I said hello. I was reading hello at the same time as I said it. Jesus Christ. Someone's blowing up my fucking Twitter right now. Yeah. It's weird. I actually, when I downloaded the new patches for the Shad PS4 option here, I actually lost a shitload of options. I was like, wait, where's the heap size? Oh, I don't have that now. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is going on? It's so annoying. Like, I just lose my patch options, and I lose the ability to update the emulator, which from one version to the next, they just rip out the update, which is whatever. I mean, it is what it is. All right, well, I'll just launch it for fun. Oh, didn't fucking mean to hit that. Windows, I don't want your game mode bullshit. I don't want it. Let's see. Did I miss much? No, you didn't. It's just crashed a shitload. Options are disappearing. Certain builds of the emulator don't launch. It's been a fucking mess. Like, this is just an absolute shit show. Which luckily I think people are pretty used to with my videos and mods. So like, I think that's not too out of the ordinary. But it is annoying. But I'll forget that like the next. Oh my god, I can actually hit a dog now. Thank God. Well, maybe it works. Alright. Although it is doing something really weird, where it's using the right thumbstick, it's controlling my mouse. I wish I could download this without problems. Hey, once again, hey Shotgun, you didn't read the pinned message. You didn't read the pinned message. We don't talk about torrenting, we don't talk about piracy, we don't talk about that. We do not talk about that. That's like the first thing I mentioned in the pinned message. Like, this is why streaming Bloodborne, I don't like dealing with any of this. Oh, a FromSoft hoarder, what's up? What's up? The goat. Yeah, it's touchy. Yeah, so now randomly, my controller is now controlling the cursor. Out of nowhere. When the fuck did that happen? I didn't see the pinned message. That would make sense that you didn't see the pinned message. Oh, hey Shotgun, actually you're totally fine and I apologize immediately. I was wrong. I forgot I've restarted the stream 3 times. And there is no pinned message, so you're not wrong. Sorry about that, Shotgun. That's on me. That is on me. So I apologize and I take back what I said, but we still don't talk about piracy, but there was no pinned message because it's been really annoying. Yeah, you can see it's actually controlling my volume now, too. Genuinely, what the fuck? Yeah, this is a disaster stream. This fucking sucks. Because now it's controlling my system volume. Oh, I think it's because of fucking game mode bullshit. Oh my god. Windows, please, stop. Stop. Why would I ever want this to happen, Windows? I don't care about your game mode. I would rather throw that shit in a lake. Fuck you, Windows. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, it's not crashing right now, which is great, but now it's controlling my fucking cursor. Oh my god. Game bar, you bitch ass hoe. How do I turn off game mode? I don't want you. I don't want you. This is just a crash out stream. That's what this is. I'm pissed at Microsoft. You, Microsoft. You. Windows is literally rage bait. I agree. Like, this is such bullshit. Seriously. Game mode. How do I delete you from existence? This is a reason. Yeah, I agree. This is a reasonable crash out where I'm like, dude, Shad PS4, why did you take away my update option? What the fuck's up with that? Now we can't update the emulator and I have to download a new build every time. Wasn't that the whole reason for including the update option? I'm presuming there's a good reason for that. But geez, yeah, I can't play it with when it's controlling my cursor, because eventually what happens is the cursor goes out of the screen and then I can't use the controller anymore. I think this is great, but if you have a PS5 Pro and set it to enhance PS4 games, well, I mean that's not. Yeah, I mean that's not anything. But yeah, I mean yes, if I spent $700 on a console to turn on a enhanced PS4 games, which all it actually does is like a post-process sharpener, which is better than nothing. But it still runs at 30 FPS, and they have no sort of FPS boosting, which is ridiculous because they control. Microsoft did it. So, Sony gets, for me, Sony gets no credit for that. I give them no credit for the enhanced PS4 game option because they have put zero effort into really improving them. Um, yeah, maybe it's more than 700 at this point. I mean, you can add DLSS to just about anything these days. What the, what the fuck does that even mean? Okay, now I'm just crashing out at the chat. This is the problem with Bloodborne streams, is people are just talking about random shit. Like, they're talking about like, oh, Sony doing this, and they haven't ported that. And you can play it on PS5 Pro, and where do I get it? Where do I download it? How do I run it? Well, what's your build? Well, what's this build? Well, do you have this version? I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. It's annoying. It's just fucking annoying. Uh, yeah, you can see it controlling my volume this whole time. Oh. Well, this is oh yeah, I can't attack back because my controller won't. Man, this is great. This is running. This is just fantastic. Okay, so well, wrong stream, I guess. What the fuck does that mean? You mean wrong stream as in it's not working? Well, yeah, sorry about that. Wrong stream as if you want to talk about... I said my comment innocently. Dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. Who, what the fuck? Oh, okay. I'm not saying to slap DLSS on everything. I'm here to see development. What? Okay, also, Monkey Zone, that's not what's happening. Because it essentially uses DLSS. No, it fucking doesn't. It's not DLSS. It's not FSR. It's not temporal anything. I assure you, the enhanced PS4 game is a post-process fucking sharpener. And it's better than nothing. But I'm here to tell you it's not DLSS. Like, it's not DLSS. That's not anything. Ugh. Oh, it's annoying. I know I'm crashing out at just incorrect shit in the chat, and I shouldn't, but this is also maybe why I'm just not a streamer. It's a war zone in here right now, apparently, yes. This stream. Okay, so how do I disable game mode? Ooh, here you go. Game mode off, bitch. Fuck you, Windows. I'm just crashing out. This is a good crash out. I just had let me just get it out. Just get the... But if people could just stop saying random shit in chat I guess I should just ignore the things that are incorrect in chat. And I'm so bad at that. I understand other streamers can just look at chat and go, eh. But like telling me to go buy a PS5, well, not telling me to go buy a PS5 Pro, but pointing at my mod and then saying, well, you know, you could just buy a $700 PS5 Pro to boot up Bloodborne and play it with a fucking post-process sharpener at 30 fucking FPS. I'm sorry. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. DLSS is far more intrusive to upscale the game. Yes. Setting that's not what it is. It's not. Like, I assume Sony did AI upscaling. No, I mean, so they have, okay, I mean, so they have or they have PSR, which is PSRR, which is PlayStation Spectral, or PSR? PSSR, PlayStation Spectral Super, whatever the fuck. And it's actually really good. It is their version of DLSS. And they do use it in certain games, but that's up to the developer to implement it. And so the enhanced PS4 games option is just not that. Um, But yeah. Anywho, I disabled game mode, so let's check that out. Let's check out. Damn, I was trying to launch the BB fork again, but it didn't like me. Alright. It does sound very close to USSR, that's true. Are you using the main build? Yeah, yeah, which I've had good luck with. Oh, it's still controlling the controller. Well, okay, that's... Welcome to Big Picture. Oh my god, Steam? Steam. Steam. For the lo- What? Oh my god, Steam. Brother. Brother, please. Steam. Now you're on my list. Fuck you, Steam. Oh, was that the problem? No, not really. It's still... Oh, here's another again. My Bloodborne is showing weird artifacts when I start. Any fix? What am I supposed to do with that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't make the emulator. I don't. Yeah, I don't think anyone has purposefully launched Big Picture mode. That's so true. Like, hey, it's not controlling my volume anymore. Fuck yeah. Okay, well that's something. I'll take that. Ooh, I got my souls back. How many did I have? Oh my god, I had 3,600. Are you kidding me? I can't win. I swear to God. I can't win. Okay, the game's running. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be stuttery again, which sucks, but whatever. Disable Steam controller input. Well, I did one better, and I nuked Steam. Yeah, I did turn off the Xbox game bar. But you know what's crazy? That never caused an issue before. I've had that running in the background. It never caused an issue, so. Steve the Soul Collector. Actually, how do you know my real name? Are you one of the very few people on Twitter that happened to see a reply from one very specific person on Steam or on Twitter that knows my real name? Not that that's like a huge issue, but kind of out of nowhere. Literally no one in YouTube chat has ever called me by my real name once. So I'm just mildly curious.
Hello,
Not that it's bad,
hunter.
but because I mean my name's Steve, like who gives a shit, but it is odd. Where did you figure out my name from?
And I will be here for you to embolden your
Or do you secretly know me in real life?
Very well, let me.
Yeah, Steam got shot. I took Steam out back and I shot it. Everyone knows your real name. I don't think so. I don't think so. Fuck it, I'm just getting vitality. Yeah, performance definitely decreases. Oh yeah. Which, to be fair, is part of the mod, is dynamic shadows and better LODs and whatnot. I mean, it's one of those name generics. What? I guess I'm saying, like, why would you know my name? Are you saying that the person randomly just included the random name Steve? Oh, did you not know my name? Wait, who said that? Well, I mean, I agree, but it's also weird that someone would just absolutely randomly pick the one name that is my name. Like, I mean, you can see how that's weird, right? It should be fixed in the future. Oh yeah, I mean, any of these issues, like, I mean, look, it's a bad situation we're in right now. Like, obviously, it's including my mod, which is doing a shitload of parallax occlusion mapping, which does cost performance. And then all the dynamic shadows obviously cost performance. And also, Bloodborne was never set up to have dynamic shadows all over the world. So, like, that's part of the problem. I'm just being frustrated by it, but I assure you, I hope it doesn't come off as me blaming the emulator or anything. But, yeah. I think it's weird that that one person used my real name and then they never typed again. Oh, I'm not talking to you, Colin Games. I'm talking about the Komanga, who just randomly said my real name. And that's never happened. In any stream. In any YouTube video. So, that's weird. I don't know, that's strange. And then someone else, the monkey person, Monkey Zone, was like, oh, well, that's just a generic name. And I'm like, wait, so you're telling me they came out of nowhere to dump just a random fucking name? Like, do they? They just throw Steve into a bunch of shit? Really? What? That? I mean, alright. I mean, I've been on the internet for a long time, and I don't know about that. At least not in my internet world, but... I mean, there is Minecraft Steve, that's true, but... Why would you say Steve the Soul Collector? What the fuck? I don't know, that's just weird to me. That creeps me out just a little bit. Oh, I could have sworn I called you Steve before, got the same reaction. Really? I mean, at the end of the day, that is my real name, and, like, who cares? But still, out of nowhere, very odd. I don't know. I mean... but I guess now the cat is out of the bag. More of... Oh, you bastard. Well, the game's working, though. That's pretty sweet. Steve the Blood Collector. Now we're talking. Now we all know. Yeah. It's weird, because there was someone, there's a friend that I made on Twitter, and she would use my real name occasionally. And I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I've told anyone else that. And then I was like, no, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But, hey, it is a very generic name, so like, who gives a shit? I don't really mind people know. I think it's a fairly boring name if we're... Oh, you bastard. Oh, you're gonna spam that move? I don't know. Yeah, that's true, Scarred Soul. I do remember I've said it in a stream at some point. I guess it's just such a one-off, like 1 minute of one stream occasionally. It's just to have someone remember that is like kind of insane. Oh, you. What's up, DIO Ocean? Gonna stalk Steve's Twitter. Yeah, you can find some mention of it. And then we basically swapped real names, and I was like, oh shit, okay. I am now known as... Actually, there's also a guy on Twitter who has like his profile name set as like FromSoft Steve, and I think he's slightly doing it because it is his real name, but it also is clearly... Well, it's not really a play. I mean, I'm not going to act like my name is anything special. Like, FromSoft is just a random thing that I came up, and I'm pretty sure I was on the toilet when I came up with it. Like, if we're being real. No, that second brick didn't hit me. Oh, I didn't actually think I was going to get that parry. I'm going to be real with you. Oh, it's Dio, not D-I-O. Okay, but they're... Okay, Wolfie? Wolfie. It has dots. It has periods. What are you talking about? Of course that's an acronym. I mean, maybe that's not what it's meant to be, but like, what? What? There's literally acronyms in the name. Like, how would I not say DIO? I don't know. I mean, they literally put the periods in the name. Is that not how periods work? Are we changing what periods mean? I don't know. I think that's Dio from JoJo. Oh, I know nothing about JoJo. All I know is apparently it's a bizarre adventure. But I don't know anything. At the coffin in part 3 is written... What? Seriously, this chat today has been fucking weird. And I don't mean that in like necessarily a bad way, but just like... I don't know. Just a lot of random stuff that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. There's just been a lot of chats that I'm like, what? What are we talking about? And then people have to explain it and then explain the explanation. Like, wait, what would be insane is for the Dark Souls Archthrones devs to make a Bloodborne mod that changes everything to be like Demon Souls. I don't agree, but if they wanted to make that mod, I mean, more power to them, but I don't think I'd want Bloodborne to be more like Demon Souls, to be honest. Also, someone's blowing up my messages. Someone's texting the fuck out of me. Man, today's been really annoying thus far. I don't know why, but it has been. And I think it's just technical things that are just all converging at once. And I would recommend any of you try to stream. It's not... There's a lot of parts about streaming that are not fun. Which I know a lot of people would say, well then just don't stream. And I go, yeah, well, you're not wrong. What are my plans for my Bloodborne mod? I don't know, really. I think I was just kind of go through it and make some better height maps. Because I've already gone through, like, the whole game. And done G-param edits for most things, dynamic shadows, like... You know, so I'd like to fix any bugs, but, like, I think it already looks pretty amazing, to be honest. I end up ignoring chat because I'm too locked in. Yeah, sadly, I've never been able to do that. Never been able to do that. Build Diego Licks. Trust me, you could have been here, and it's just a shit show. I can't even launch the Diego builds. They don't even fucking launch. Now. They did yesterday, so I don't have any fucking idea. Like, it's just a shit show, frankly. And this is why, like, modding Bloodborne is just harder, because you gotta work around the emulator, which is not the emulator's fault. Emulation is incredibly difficult, so... It's just not terribly fun. I'm saying world building wise. I guess I still disagree, but I think Demon Souls we already have. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I just don't see the need to. I don't know. I feel like Demon Souls is what it is, and Bloodborne is very different than that. I mean, obviously there's connections that people could make between them. Consumable healing, of course. Ooh, these guys, when they get amped up, that's tough. Also, I don't have a lot of stamina, because I have not. Oh, he dropped a bloodstone shard. I also have been unable to make these barrels, like, actually fully blend into this dark environment. That's been on the list for a while. Because they still stand out, and it has something to do with... I've messed with their map studio like settings and whatnot. It still doesn't fix it, so I don't know. That might be, I don't know if it's cube map related or something, but there's some bullshit going on. You bastard! Oh shit! Oh shit! I was doing really good. Also, the emulator had a regression recently when it came to water, and now the planar reflections don't really work that well. So that sucks. That's kind of what's hard making a mod, you know, when it's such an unstable platform. You know, it's just hard. Do you ever plan on modding Demon Souls? Oh, yeah, I've already modded it. I've already made a mod. I've already released a mod. Modding it more? Honestly, you're pretty limited. You can't do anything with the textures, really. Because then it just won't load. So until someone gets past that limitation, I can't really do anything with the textures. I can modify some of the models in Blender. It did get support for that, but even that is very unstable at the moment. And I kept having crashing, so I just gave up. And I was like, I'll come back to Demon Souls at another point. Yeah, I put out a visual overhaul for Demon Souls, and it, you know, it adds dynamic shadows. Unfortunately, Demon Souls has just the shittiest dynamic shadows of all time. Like, they're basically stencil shadows. It's pretty bad. And so enabling the dynamic shadows kind of looks like shit, to be honest. What are your specs? 5700X or Ryzen 5700X and RTX 4060 Ti. Yeah, getting 60 at the moment I think is just hit or miss, really. I can't even maintain 60. So, I mean, part of it is I'm streaming. Streaming plus running the emulator at once is an incredibly stupid idea. But right now it's okay. It's a little stuttery, but I'm just not willing to restart the game anymore. So I'm just gonna live with the stutter. And it's just, I mean, it's just, you know, technical shit, you know? You should probably put your PC specs in the description. Yeah. Oh, this is why streaming Bloodborne is just not terribly fun, because people are like, what are your specs, and what is this, and does the emulator work, and when do you think this will be fixed, and what are your plans for your mod, and then what about this other mod, and have you tried modding this, which I understand is just people asking me things about what I'm doing, but it's just, I don't know, it's just very scattershot. It's just like, okay. I feel like it becomes an incredibly unfocused stream because there's just no way you can... There's so many extraneous things when it comes to modding Bloodborne and playing it. And then people will just come in and say, I'm having this one issue. I'm having artifacts. How do I fix that? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Also, artifacts doesn't describe what the artifacts are. I have no fucking idea. How would I know to fix something that I don't know what it looks like? Okay. Emulation doesn't require too much. What does that mean? What does that mean? What, like, emulation doesn't require too much? I'm assuming you mean emulating Demon Souls doesn't require too much. See, this is the thing. I think a lot of streamers are just better at ignoring chat, where I see a chat message like that and I go, well, okay, that's very broad, doesn't make a lot of sense. So I just have a problem where I don't, when I see like what I feel are like really incomplete and incorrect statements, I tend to go, what? Just curious. Ooh, man, it's really stuttery around here. Yeah, I imagine with the, yeah, I've definitely installed my, oh god, the stuttery is really bad around here. Jesus Christ. Ooh. Yeah, the Bethesda games, there's so many different mods. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna call the stream there, because, like, yeah, this stuttering fucking sucks. The stream has been fairly awful. I think I'll just come back with... I think on Wednesday I'll just come back with, like, Dark Souls 2 or something. Maybe Dark Souls 1. I don't know. I'll keep messing with Bloodborne off stream. And I'm gonna make a Bloodborne video announcing the new patch. I'm just gonna do that versus stream. I make more money by just making the videos anyway. So, all the grass, trees, and dogs here. Why does your Bloodborne look so good? Oh, well, I can explain that. I mean, it's my mod. That's obviously part of it. The dynamic shadows, adding tons of point lights, better LODs. Like I modified all the reflectance maps. I've actually started making new specular maps as well. Added parallax occlusion mapping that, you know, through all the mesh edits, and then obviously the reshade on top that, you know, include. Also, I have all the G-param edits that have atmosphere configurations. And then the reshade on top adds a little bit of MXAO, but mostly it's the anti-aliasing. Yeah, so I mean, that's why it looks so good, which I appreciate the compliment. But yeah, it's just my mod plus that. If we are going to go all the way, let's just go all the way. What are your thoughts on the fall of the Roman Empire? Yeah, apparently guys think about the Roman Empire a lot. We are having a side conversation. Oh, you're fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know how streamers keep clear in the chat, like, what is a side conversation, what is not. The Roman Empire should not have fallen like that. I mean, they just expand it too much, right? Like, that's the classic problem of an empire, is you just expand too much, and then you just can't keep control of that, and naturally it just degrades, you know? Also, if you want chat to be more focused, you could start already mid-modding. Might help stage the stream. No, I mean, if people are gonna say dumb shit, they're gonna say dumb shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's gonna happen whenever. But Bloodborne just attracts really annoying chats of, oh my god, where is Bloodborne emulation? Do you know about this emulation issue? Do you know the fix for this emulation issue? Do you think Sony's going to shut it down? I bet they will shut it down. Do you think Sony sucks? Do you think Sony's good? Do you think they should do a remaster? Do you think? And I just go, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. That's like, there's just a lot of stuff I don't know the answer to. And I think people think that I know the answer to, which is understandable, to be fair. Like, I don't think that's an insane expectation, but I just go, I don't know. I just make the mod for it. I don't know. So, like, you can go talk to the emulator people about the emulator, you know, and then it's also just because the emulator is still in the early stages, you know. And that's not a bad thing. I think it's just ends up being more annoying on my end. And it's way more fun modding DS2. It's so much more fun modding DS2. Bloodborne, yeah, oh, this stuttering is terrible. Ugh. But I mean, hey, look, if we zoom out, we've had great progress. I have a feeling that people will somehow convert all of Bloodborne's source code. I mean, eventually you assume that, I would say that could be years and years and years down the road, but I don't think anything's out of the question, because obviously we've only started within the last like 5 years to get decompilations and like total reverse engineering of like N64 games, which was complicated in certain things. But I assure you, decompiling like a whole PS4 game, I mean, that is orders of magnitude harder. What kind of interaction are you looking for from chat? I think that's a great question. I really don't. I think for Bloodborne, it just brings in a ton of shit that I don't have the answer to. It also brings in piracy-related things where people will bring that up, and I'll be like, I can't talk about that. I don't really like that being talked about. And it's like, okay. And then, I don't know, this chat has just been complete, like, all over the place, where a lot of it is probably just my fault. That I shouldn't. If there's things that I think are wrong in chat, I just have to accept that maybe I don't correct them. But that is a personal problem. And it might, you know, and to be honest, I think the end result could just be that I'm just not meant to be streaming. Like, I think that's always been in the back of my mind of like, well, I'll try it out and do it. But at the end of the day, I might just not be made out for that. And I think maybe that's why I do prefer the videos, because I can make them, I can reply to some comments, and then I just don't look at the comments anymore. Which I know is a bad YouTuber. It is. Because then they would say, well, then why are you a YouTuber if you're not even talking to the people that are in your audience? And I'd be like, well, I talk to them on Twitter. I just don't like YouTube comments. Because YouTube comments are kind of hit or miss. Like, there's some really good ones, but man, there are some real shitbirds in the YouTube comments. And everyone likes to be a backseat modder. And that's just, you know, nature of the game, right? Like, of making YouTube videos. You're going to have people that just want to criticize your work and shit. So I think for me, I do see it as much more of a one-way conversation. Not to say there isn't a conversation. So obviously there is a two-way portion of it. But I am very limited in what I allow. I think I'm way less, I don't know, how do I say it? I'm just less available to people. And I've noticed this with like a lot of other streamers that I really enjoy and like. They're so good at creating a community. And I just have not done that. Hey, here's that issue where it runs out of memory and then it stops loading the meshes. But it still loads the collision. Yeah, that's an issue that hasn't reared its head in a little bit. Uh, it's not that, I mean, I appreciate the compliment. I think it's just that I have a different, okay, let's put it this way. If you were to look at two different bands, if you looked at Radiohead and Coldplay, which I love both of them. I love both. Like, I want to be clear about that. I don't, this isn't like pitting them against each other, but they're incredibly different. I think Radiohead has a different methodology to their music where they put out music and they say you either like it or you don't. We don't give a shit. Um, and I have to admit, I tend more towards that, where I'm kind of doing what I like to do, and I'll put out the content because I like making videos and I like working on these games. But as far as like a super dialogue and creating a community where we all feel close together and like friends, that just isn't something I'm good at. Or maybe more importantly, it's not something I'm seeking out. And it's actually good to talk about this because obviously I think about it a lot. Like I started my own Discord channel years ago. I think like when I started making videos. I can't remember when I made the Discord channel, but I haven't been there in months, and it's been a consistent issue where I feel like I should show up. Um, but I inherently have a distaste for a place centered around me. I don't like that. I actively hate that. And that's just part of who I am. I don't like that. I don't like that people, I don't like that my name is on something and people, I am the center around which they'll orbit and talk about other shit and whatever. And like, I just don't like that. I don't, I don't want that. I don't want a community. I don't, like, I don't know. And I think that's just a difference of, I think there's so many creators that are really good at that, and they just do it. And I love watching them too. And I'm part of their communities. But I'm just not that guy. I'm kind of a guy that's mysterious, and which sounds so stupid to say, but like, I just disappear. I go off in my cave and I tweet out stupid shit. And I talk to people more through like replies on Twitter. As weird as that sounds, I honestly enjoy that because they're like one-off little conversations. I kind of like that. Um, just stream. Well, I also don't like. That's the other thing I don't like about streaming is people I think will pop in and be like, well, just do this or just do that or just do this, and it's like, well, once again, I also don't like being told what to do. And I know that's you probably shouldn't be streaming if that's the case, but. Yeah, I think I'm just not, maybe being available to people on that level, I just don't like. Is that weird to say? I don't know. I think my sort of hesitance towards that stuff is going to limit how successful I'll be, but I also think that's okay. I don't really set out to be like a popular YouTuber, right? Like if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't think that makes my life better. I think the only thing that would benefit me from that is money. And I admit, I do like money, as far as just being comfortable. I don't really care about the fancy things, and I don't care about fancy clothes, and I don't care about fancy cars. I don't care about any of that. I don't even care about fancy food. I have just no part of myself that cares about that. I like to have enough money to live, and that's about it. And so that is something I think about when like streaming. That I do enjoy the talking, like yapping, but I admit it is more of a one-way street than I think a lot of people would enjoy, and I think that's fair. I can't criticize that. That's just what you enjoy. But if the question is it worth it enough for me to do it and then make no money from it? No. I would actually say no. I don't have the enjoyment that goes over the lack of money from it. Like, if I stream for 4 hours, is that time better spent modding? I would say yes. 100%. I literally get more work done modding off stream. Oh, well, shotgun actually. Well, and I appreciate what you're saying. Yeah, social anxiety is a real thing, and I certainly suffered with that as you know, as a kid and teenager. I had horrible anxiety. That's not so much my problem anymore. I'm not really anxious to talk to people. I worked in retail for years, over a decade actually. So talking to people and being in public and that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. It's more of like, do I like it? And so you could almost think of it as like an asocial thing. It's not antisocial, it's more asocial, where I'm just like, I don't need to stream. I think some people enjoy it so much that they can look over, they can do the grind, you know, or they grind it out. Like even streaming now and having like over 20 viewers actually means you're in like the top 1% of streamers. Um, yeah, working retail really changes the motherfucker. That's true. It's true. Yeah, and I got all the way up to be a store manager, you know, and so I found success, but I ended up hating it. Well, I didn't hate retail. I actually really enjoyed helping people and being knowledgeable, right? Like, I just enjoy being knowledgeable about something and then being able to use that knowledge to do something or help someone. Like, I think that's great. And frankly, who knows? Maybe I'll go back to retail at some point because I do enjoy having like a side job or something. I don't know. But, like, is like that's been my streaming journey has been like I'll do it and then I go, yeah, I mean it's fine, but and I know that like some people would say, well, the only time you'll find financial success with streaming is if you keep at it. But I don't necessarily know that that's true. There's no guarantee, A. B, like averaging 30 to 40 viewers, it doesn't sound like a lot, but in the world of streaming, it actually is. Um, Having above 20 viewers gets you in the top 1% of streamers. Which people, you know, that blew my mind when I first was like, oh my God. They're like, yeah, trust me, most people stream to like 1 or 2 viewers, if that. So you're already in like the top echelon of streaming in terms of like the percentages, right? But how much money is that? And I think a lot of people are really surprised to understand that, like, on average, it obviously depends on the genre of content that you make, but you can average it out, give or take, to $1 per 1,000 views. And I think a lot of people would be surprised to know that. I think they'd assume that there's a lot more money in YouTube. There is not. Trust me. Like, you know, the video that I would have that, you know, has like 89,000 views, that could be $89, which, you know, is good, but like, is that what my videos average? Absolutely not. I actively know that when I work on DS1 or DS2, I'm going to get less views. Like, that's just how that is. Which is fine. Like, Bloodborne's more interesting. Because of the emulation, because it's not available on other platforms. DS3 is the next most popular. Which also makes sense, because DS3 is the most popular in the trilogy. Like, by far, in terms of how many people played it and how many copies it sold, you know? So, that's part of the equation, too. Working on stuff like DS3 coming up later this year is going to be an instance where I'm working on it not necessarily because it's my favorite game or my favorite project, because there will be money in that. So, my buddy is a streamer and he's super aggressive whenever someone doesn't join. What do you mean by join? Like, someone doesn't watch his stream? Or like, doesn't chat enough or something? Like, because yeah, that kind of sucks. Like, yeah, you don't want to like shame your viewers into like not watching. I'm just being real. Like, if people think that like streaming is gonna bring me a lot of money, it ain't. Like, it just ain't, you know. That's just not, like, I'm gonna do the things that makes me the money. Because before anything, I gotta make enough money. And I also know I live in a fantasy land where people are paying me at all to mod games. So like, I can't expect that. I don't expect people to. But also, like, with what I spend my time on, the money is in the modding. I consider myself a modder before a YouTuber, right? YouTube was simply a platform to share longer looks at them. Twitter, I think, is my favorite platform for sharing actual, like, screenshots. That's my favorite, is Twitter, actually. I think it's the most fun for me, because I can just share a 30-second video, you know? Really? He gets mad at he gets mad at people that don't watch his stream? Oh, yeah, no. You can't do that. Yeah. Like, that's just never going to pay off. Like, you can't shame people into watching your stream. I just don't think that's ever going to work, you know? I get where he's coming from. I also think, and this is an unpopular thing to say, so I want to preface with this. I think most people who start streaming are not entertaining. And I think they're entertaining. But when they consistently go like 3-4 years and they still are averaging, like, if they're still averaging like under 5 viewers, at a certain point, you have to accept that you may not be entertaining to enough people. And I think a lot of people aren't facing that fact, right? Or even if you're not entertaining, the content, like, because I think for me, like, I have a certain style, but I think what helps me is that I am not the focus. It's the things that I am working on. And my mom actually started a YouTube channel like a year ago, and I was helping her with that, and like I showed her how to make, like, how to post the video, how to make the thumbnail, stuff like that. And then I kind of let her just do it, you know? And I think she just hasn't quite understood that her going into that field of like personality-based YouTube is tough because the market is so saturated. Like, you have to stand out. And so for me, my focus has always been my mods. If I didn't have my mods, fucking nobody is going to watch this. Like, and I know, well, it's not to say that. There might be like 1 or 2, but like, if I didn't have my mods, those are the core of my content creation. If I didn't have my mods, I don't have anything. I don't. Like, you need to have the core of why you make a channel, the core of why you are streaming. And I think a lot of people just start streaming and they say, well, what if I just play the popular game and I say funny things? And I'm like, dog, do you understand how many people are doing that exact thing and are likely much funnier than you? And I think it takes self-reflection to understand that, like, you may not be very funny. So, I don't know. I think that, well, you don't even have to be funny. Like, there are plenty of different streaming, like, people that will start a podcast and they just never really get any views. And then you tune into it and you're like, oh, this is just not interesting at all. And I think it just takes self-reflection to understand that, like, if you try for 5-10 years and you've gotten literally nothing or any success from it, like, also my controller stopped working. Oh, it disconnected. Oops. Well, we ended up streaming a little bit longer. I think I will end it here. It's been a good little chat. And I do apologize for coming off a little crashed out, you know, little, you know, not angry, but a little pissed off, you know. I like sheep. I love From Software. I appreciate that. I do think, I know people do appreciate the yapping and the whatnot, but also, you know, that's just the inside of my brain of thinking of, like, is it worth streaming? Personally, most of the time, it's not. But I also stream sometimes because I enjoy it. I do enjoy the examinations of the different FromSoft games and talking about the lore. I think streaming Bloodborne brings in just a bunch of other topics that I don't care as much about, and it can be more annoying to stream that. Where Dark Souls 2, the people that are there for the Dark Souls 2 streams just really love Dark Souls 2, and we can just nerd out about Dark Souls 2. And that ends up being what the conversations are about, you know? And I think streaming this just, I mean, the technical problems are a big part of it. Where I'm just like, God, this sucks to stream. But even making a video for Bloodborne kind of sucks because I'll be recording it and then halfway through it there's just a fucking bomb or something and it stops working and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll edit that part out. Oh my God, you scared the fuck out of me. Oh, he got me. But I love Bloodborne. It's so good. I still think it's probably the best game they've ever made. But that's just me. Ooh, little cocktail. Actually, hold on a second. I want to throw this cocktail right at your fucking face. Yes. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the 3 separate streams, and it's just been a fucking shit show. But at the end of the day, we did play some Bloodborne. I crashed out multiple times. I will look into the readback thing, and I'm going to try to get the Diego builds to work. Also, I think, who was it that DM'd me with the Google Drive thing? Because I'm absolutely going to boot that up. Because that's awesome. Also, Wolfie, you said no offense, but he sounds like DSP, which I think I know who you're referring to. Maybe. Everyone needs a good crash out. I agree. I actually think normal, healthy crashing out is okay. I think a tutorial stream could go a long way with how to use Dark Souls mod tools. Yeah, I mean, yeah. My prior streams end up turning into that, where I just kind of nerd out about all the things that I'm doing with that. And I think I do struggle with like packaging the content into a way that any normal person would enjoy. And that's probably the wrong aim. I should just focus on the people that are fucking weirdos. And that's, you know, I love Bloodborne, but it's overrated as fuck. Well, I disagree, but that's fair. The camera's been on this whole time. Huh. Yeah, there's definitely things like that where I'm like, oh my god. Also, Windows is so annoying. So, yeah, sometimes you gotta crash out, and I try to, like, when I crash out, I don't want to like attack people or be mean to people in chat. I do think I can be stern sometimes, because I'm definitely not like a lot of the streamers that are really patient. Like Maximilian, dude, is so patient. He's such an inspiration because he's like consistently funny and entertaining, and he's been doing it for a long time. But I will say he's actually pretty stern too when it comes to certain things. Like when he was playing Silent Hill F or any new game, basically, he'll always see people in chat that'll be like, "Oh, you missed something," and he'll be like, "This game just came out. Are you telling me you know this game already?" Back and forth. And he makes, so I admit I actually kind of emulate him, or try. He kind of roasts the chat a little bit of like, just because you come in here and say shit doesn't mean that you're immune to criticism. So if you're gonna say shit in my chat, I think I'll say shit back to you, and I kind of like that. Yeah, Max is the GOAT. I honestly, like, he's such an inspiration because he's a good dad. He's a good dude, literally. And he's really funny and intelligent and entertaining. I think I've already said entertaining like 4 times, but he's so passionate, and yeah, I don't know. He's one of my favorite content creators because it's nice to be able to point to somebody, and it's not like you should put him up on a pedestal. You shouldn't, and I don't think I am, but I think he's just been a really great inspiration for people. And for content creation and fighting games and Souls games, and I don't know. I love watching his streams. He's just, the way he handles everything, you know, and like handles the responsibilities of like a family and being a husband and a dad, and he just is so patient with like technical problems. He just has like the patience of a saint, and he never like fully crashes out, and if he does, it's just for humor. I don't know. There's something really, I don't know. If I ever got to like talk to Max, that'd be really cool at some point because he's so cool. Avoiding the puddle is my favorite streamer. Really? Okay. Then maybe have a video where you show off people's attempts at modding in a funny compilation. No, I mean, I appreciate the suggestion, but no, I mean, I think my content is very specifically what it is, and I think I have found a decent amount of success with it, you know? So I do always get suggestions from other people of like, maybe you should edit your content better, or you should do more editing. And I'm like, yeah, but I think a lot of people are already doing that, you know? And it sounds kind of weird, but like on YouTube, because this is what my mom falls into all the time, where she'll be like, yeah, I'm looking at these other YouTubers, and I'm doing exactly what they're doing, but I'm not getting the results that they are. And I'm like, well, Mom, number one, life isn't fair. I know that's a bit condescending, but like, A, life isn't fair. YouTube isn't fair. Also, the most common thing that people tell you, the grifters mostly, they'll say, well, if you keep doing YouTube, eventually you're going to find success, which is quite honestly wrong and incorrect and lying because they don't know that. And a lot of the times, actually majority of the time, I would argue maybe 80% of the time, 90% of the time, if you keep grinding at this YouTube thing for like 5 years and you don't find success, I actually think it's really fucking rude to tell that person that, well, if you just keep grinding, if you just keep grinding for another 5 years, you'll get there. That is fucking nothing. That's a nothing sentence. That's a I don't really care about you. I'm just going to tell you whatever you think you want to hear so that you keep doing what you're doing instead of saying, well, I would say, do you want honest feedback? I think that'd be my first question. Because I don't want to just be mean, you know? But I think there are plenty of people that I've known that have just been streaming to one viewer for like years, you know? Well, and I would also say the bigger thing that I was, because this is actually a conversation I've had with my mom multiple times about her YouTube channel of like, what does success look like for you? Because people on YouTube will say that a lot, where they'll be like, you'll get successful eventually, but it's like, that's different to every person. 50,000 subscribers? Is it 100,000 subscribers? Is it 1,000,000 subscribers? Do you want... I think for me, my bar has mostly been, can I generally get 1,000 views on a video? For me, that's kind of like, hey, I think that's cool. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with Michael Garcia there. Yeah, I think there are people that come to my content, and I think that's what they're used to, is that I just talk a lot. And I nerd out about what I'm doing, and I know that that's not a good way to package it for most people. And it's not bite-size, and it's not short-form content. But I don't really like short-form content. I've never really had TikTok longer than for like a day. I've never used YouTube Shorts. They've recommended to me some of them before, and I go, I just don't care about that. But I respect people that really like short-form content. I prefer documentaries, and movies, and long TV shows. And I just don't like I think the bite-size nature of short-form content, I just don't like, you know? Yeah, so, I don't know. I think it's sort of a lose-lose game in some ways, where, you know, if you change up your content to benefit certain people, because like I remember, you know, I'll make those videos where I play a game for the first time that's not like a Souls game, and you know, you would get those comments from like a small number of people that would be like, you know, nobody watches you for these game stream or these game videos. And I think I only responded to one of them where it was like, oh, is that like a really, really brilliant insight? Did you think about that one for a long time? Did you really have to mull that over? Did you talk to other people? Did you peer review that? Did you, you know, I'm such a bastard about it. I'm such a bastard about it. And I am petty sometimes, where I'm just like, well, fuck you. You know, because I'm like, yeah, no shit. But I still make those videos because there might be someone who finds it and then goes, oh man, this is actually kind of cool. And they don't come to me for modding, but I'll have the people that do come to me for the modding and Souls games and whatnot. And it's okay not to please every one of your viewers all at once. Like, that's just, you know, like, I'm shocked that I even have 30,000 subscribers. That's crazy. Oh, this guy usually always gets me. I'm surprised I even got to that point, you know? We just made you talk. That's true. Yes. I do like yapping about this type of stuff. Like, I think the granular, mechanical, creative process behind this is interesting. Oh my god, One Pretty Danny, you have done the exact comment that is something that happens in Bloodborne streams a lot. It's like, which I don't even have had a lot of them, but it's like, hey, when will mod be done? It's like, okay, I mean, that's a long question. That's a complicated answer. What are my plans for the mod going forward? I don't know. I'm just working on what I want to work on, and that does honestly change a lot, you know? I'm sure there's so many people in the community that were really upset that I started modding Dark Souls 2 for like 2 months straight. I feel like they probably were like, man, that fucking sucks. I don't care about that. And I'd go, yeah, I get that. And, you know, that's just kind of what it is, you know? If I modded, like, if I wanted to make money, more money, I should probably just keep working on Bloodborne the whole time, right? Like, realistically. Just logically. And I did. I modded Bloodborne, and I was making a lot of videos there back to back. You know, it kind of depends on where my passion is for it. If I'm really, really into it, you know, it's gonna be done in. How do I turn on DLSS from PS6? Yeah, exactly. It's also actually a larger issue with myself. That I think it's important to talk about, like mental health and that kind of stuff. This is also just a personality thing. Where I have an issue, and I've had an issue for a long time, where when I'm around people, or just talking to someone, and they say something that I think that I know is like 100% wrong, like I'm really confident in, like that shit's wrong. That doesn't. I feel like this need to correct it, and that sucks. I don't actually want to have that thought. I don't want to have that feeling. It's not fun. It's not fun to be the know-it-all. You know, like you do it to go, look, I know this. But it's I don't know, I guess for me it's not that. I don't see it as like an egotistical thing. Maybe the core of it is. I don't know. It's not that I'm, like I am egotistical, obviously, in certain instances, but I don't know. It's just something in my brain that maybe I would like to believe that it's something to do with like truth. That I do find that very important, that you learn facts and you read about things and science and the scientific method. Like, that is very important to me. And maybe that's the core of it. I think I'd like to think that, you know? I think I would like to think that, but I'm not 100% sure that it's not also partially an ego thing. But I don't know, I think we all have parts of ourselves we don't particularly like. And for me, that's part of it. But I also can't, this is actually my own therapy. This is my own therapy. I don't know. It's obviously also helped me in a lot of cases, because it's made me better at my jobs. It's made me more successful. I've advanced more in previous jobs because I was the one who knew how to do the things, or how to know how to do the obscure things. My biggest strength is just figuring things out. And doing like really monotonous bull. That move is, oh, I don't have any bullets anymore. You're so right. So it's one of those things where like it's hurt me, but it's also helped me. And it's one of those personality traits that it's good, but man, it's also bad. You didn't give me 2 blood vials? That's crazy. We get joke weapons? Yeah, I'm sure I know there's a lot of Bloodborne mods that have added like different character designs and whatnot. I think it's pretty cool. Well, anyway, thank you for tuning into the stream. You know, this ended up being, you know, we're talking about some stuff. Maybe it is just more of a, when I don't know. I tried to make myself to like a schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I wanted to at least consistently put out some content, which sounds weird, but I do need to be doing more content that is evergreen. That is less like, hey, I just updated this one thing, because that video isn't going to live on, right? But if I make videos in addition to my normal ones that are maybe more evergreen, like a video that compares this version versus this version, like I think there is a lot of other evergreen content that I can make that would be better for me financially long term, right? Because if you just have videos that work or that get views past the initial period, like that is good, you know? And that's always been my dream, is to have just enough passive income coming in from the videos, like still getting views, and then I can just put out videos whenever I want. That's the dream, realistically, is just to not have to worry about money. And YouTube could be a way of doing that. I don't think streaming is going to be that, because I don't think I have the stamina for it to like consistently stream for 4 to 8 hours and like 4 to 5 days a week like a lot of people do. I ain't that strong. I don't know how people do that. I know they work up to it, but there's also people that are just built different. And I am not that. So, I think unfortunately I have to just accept myself that as much as I might want to be a streamer, and I might want to promise that I'll stream more often because I know some people enjoy it. But I basically always feel like I just break that promise because I just don't stick to it, you know? I don't know. And it kind of sucks because I think it's something from my dad where he would basically, if he said he was going to do something, he did it. It didn't matter what, he had to do. If he said he was going to do something, he would do it. So that's always kind of stuck with me. And so I hate when I make a promise and then it just doesn't end up being true, you know, for a variety of reasons, but I don't know. And then I also hate just being flaky where I'll be like, well, I'll stream whenever I want to, which, I don't know, that sucks too, but like, I think that's probably the only realistic answer is that I'm just gonna be kind of there when I'm there and then not when I'm not. And I think that makes it to where streaming, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because by doing that, you're essentially guaranteeing that you'll never be able to get a consistent streaming audience because they don't know when to expect it, which is the whole problem. So that's like, it's like the chicken and the egg thing, right? You kind of either keep doing it until you get to the point that you want to be at, or you do it the other way, which is just going to guarantee that it doesn't work. So I don't know. That's just my thinking. Dude, those 12-hour streamers are crazy. That's crazy. I watch people that like put on really long streams consistently, and I'm like, that's nuts, man. I ain't that strong. Also, and maybe it's because my focus is modding. If I'm every hour that I stream is an hour that I'm not as efficient at modding. And I would most of the time prefer to be modding. So, you know, that's kind of an inherent problem as well. But there is an element to the streams I do like, because obviously I still end up doing that occasionally. So, I think there is an enjoyment factor, but it's just not as much as other people. You know what mod would go crazy? A ROM hack Pokemon game, but it's entirely flipped, so it's Bloodborne. I don't even know what that really is, to be honest, but I'm okay with that, and I accept that. But anyway, thank you for tuning in the stream. Now I'm going to record a Bloodborne video and probably just post it right after it, so you'll probably see a video within an hour or two, because I know that video is gonna do gangbusters probably, and if it doesn't, but likely it's gonna be very popular. And I like money, and it's near the end of the month, and any money that I can add to my next YouTube payment would be pretty sick. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cash in for a second, and just quickly talk about the new features and kind of show it off. But I will absolutely. Pokemon attacks are just replaced with your character. Huh? I mean, I guess anything is possible. Did I not unlock this on this character? Huh. No, I did. I just didn't activate it. Anyway, I have to pee and get water and eat, so this timed out well. Thank you for tuning in. The VODs will be up for the 3 different attempts. I probably should delete the other 2 VODs because they're not anything. They're not watchable. They're just crashing. So, yeah, well, anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you on presumably Wednesday, unless I wake up feeling like shit, which we'll see. Other than that, just expect it'll be on Wednesday, and it might be DS2, it might be DS1. I'll see what I'm feeling like. I gotta work on DS1 a little bit more. I got some more shit to fix. But yeah, see you till then. Bye.